Thank you so much for joining us. If you like our video, please drop a like. Also, all comments are welcome. Out-of-place artifacts continue to puzzle and amaze all who encounter them. How and why did they get there? So many questions, and yet, like most mysteries of history, not enough answers. Dark Histories looks at their top 3 and gives our opinion. Number 3, Roman coins in Japan. The discovery of Roman coins and controlled excavations of a castle in Japan prompted the inevitable question: how did they get there? Did Rome's impressive trading links stretch as far as Okinawa, some 6,000 miles away? Kachurin Castle in Okinawa Prefecture is said to have been occupied between the 12th to 15th centuries, so the coins cannot represent direct trade links between the castle's users and the Roman Empire, which had fallen centuries before. Other finds from the castle indicate trade links with China, so perhaps the coins arrived from there as tokens or forms of payment. The only published images of the finds show the head side of the 4 Roman coins and of an Ottoman copper coin with a clear date of 1688. Like the Roman coins, the Ottoman coin raises its own questions, because it was issued after the abandonment of the castle in the 15th century. The coin that features most frequently in the news reports appears to be a copper alloy coin of Constantius II, reigned from 337 to 361 AD, the son of Constantine the Great. The images of the other Roman coins are less clear, but all appear to be of roughly the same date, from about 320 to 370 AD. It is important to note that coins like the one of Constantius II remained in circulation for long after they were issued. In the Eastern Roman Empire, there is evidence that such coins may have continued in use up to the 6th century, some 2 centuries after they were made. Whilst being able to date the coins more precisely would be nice, it still doesn't mean they were as a result of even indirect trade between East Asia and Rome. A few Roman coins, and imitations of them, have been found in China, where they were probably used as ornaments and as burial goods. Yet these too are usually made of gold, and most are later in date. The majority are concentrated in northern China, and likely entered along the overland route known as the Silk Road. The fact that the coins are small and of low value in, rather than high-value silver or gold, creates more questions. Such original coins and imitations are found in India and Sri Lanka, and at some sites in Central Asia, but it is hard to see how they would have traveled on directly from such places to Japan, though indirectly via Southeast Asia and perhaps at a much later date remains a possibility. In the end, more detailed study of the other finds from the archaeological contexts in which these coins were found will be necessary to understand how they ended up on the site of a medieval Japanese castle. Dark Histories believes that the coins arrived at this castle in the 16th and 17th centuries care of European traders who bought them as tokens or trade items to woo the locals with trinkets of unknown origin. But either way, they represent the furthest traveled Roman coins before the age of collectors and mass transport. Number 2. The Main Penny. The Main Penny, also known as the Goddard coin, is a Norwegian silver coin dating to the reign of Olaf Kyrre, King of Norway, between 1067 and 1093 AD. Its discovery is significant as it potentially points to pre-Columbus contact between the Native Americans and Vikings. The coin was discovered by Guy Melgren, a local resident and amateur archaeologist, in August 1957. Whilst working on a dig at an old Native American settlement at Nisquede Point on Penobscot Bay in Brooklyn, Maine, known as the Goddard Site. Over a lengthy period, a collection of 30,000 items from the site was donated to the Maine State Museum. The coin was donated in 1974. Kolbjorn Skar of the University of Oslo determined the coin had been minted between 1065 and 1080 AD and widely circulated in the 12th and 13th centuries. The penny was initially found with a hole in it, probably for use as a pendant. This area of the coin has since crumbled to dust from corrosion. The whole dig site has been dated from between 1180 and 1235, well within the circulation period of pennies of this type. The people who lived at the site at that time are generally considered to be ancestors of the Penobscot. While the date is around 200 years after the last of the Vinland voyages described by the Norse, it is well within the period during which the Norse lived in Greenland when they could have visited North America. The penny's coastal origin has been offered as evidence either that the Norsemen from Greenland traveled farther south than Newfoundland. However, the penny was the only Norse artifact found at the site, which according to evidence was a hub in a large native trade network and could have come to Maine through native trade channels from Norse sources in Labrador or Newfoundland. The Maine State Museum describes it as the only pre-Columbian Norse artifact generally regarded as genuine found within the United States. However, it could also be a hoax. This type of Norwegian silver coin and others of that era were available on the open market during 1957. Mellgren could have had the means and the opportunity to plant the coin at the site, or he could have been deceived by someone planting the coin, although the reason for doing this is uncertain. There are varying beliefs on how the coin got there and why. Dark Histories believes that it is most likely from trade with the Viking settlements in Newfoundland, especially as there is no other evidence of Viking presence in the area and there would have been no motive to start a hoax. Number 1. The Lewis Chessmen. The game of chess has been around for a long time, almost 1,400 years. But one set has captivated the imagination of archaeologists, historians, and chess enthusiasts for more than a century. In 1831, an intact chess set washed up on the dunes of the Isle of Lewis, in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland. Not only is it the only complete surviving chess set from medieval times. When found, the hoard contained 93 artifacts, 78 chess pieces, 14 table men and 1 belt buckle. Today, 82 pieces are owned and usually exhibited by the British Museum in London, and the remaining 11 are at the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh. Additionally, a newly identified piece, a warder, the equivalent of a castle or rook, was sold for £735,000 in July 2019. For other major pieces, and many pawns, remain missing from the chess sets. Archaeologists still aren't sure how the set, which was made in Norway from walrus tusk more than 1,000 years ago, ended up on the Isle of Lewis. The distance between these 2 points is approximately 1,000 kilometers. One theory? When the chess set was created, the Western Isles, including the Isle of Lewis, were part of Norway, not Scotland. In the 9th century AD, the Vikings began to settle on Lewis, after years of raiding from the sea. The Norse invaders intermarried with local people and abandoned their pagan beliefs. At that time, rectangular buildings began to supersede round ones, following the Scandinavian style. Lewis became part of the Kingdom of Man and the Isles, which paid homage to Norway. It is thought that a merchant might have buried the set for safekeeping, before traveling to Ireland to use it for trade. Whilst that is merely speculation, it does appear to us at Dark Histories to be the most logical, and as they were not teleported to those shores and were clearly in excellent condition, they must have been put there on purpose, and as Arthur Conan Doyle put it, once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth.